Hey there, guys. I wanted to tell you a little story about my childhood. I finally got some information from my parents to add to the story to get a little bit from their perspective. So this should be interesting. So sit back and sit tight. We're going for a ride. Anyways, uh, yeah, I'm in a good mood. Obviously, you can tell. Um, anyways, when I was young, I uh I was in elementary school and we were in PE class. And I don't know if you guys have ever played this game, but when I was a child, we had this rainbow parachute game, and basically, we had the parachute on the ground, and there'd be someone like right there, and they would go around the cert. Okay, I gotta go do it back there. Okay, so they would go around like that. Uh, okay, sorry. I'm trying to use the angle of the camera to do this, but I can't really do it. So, anyways, they go around like this, and they have to pick. While they go around, they have to tap someone like Duck Duck Goose or whatever, and then one person has to go around one way, and one person has to go around the other way. But while you're doing this, you have to race that person to grab a beanbag on the ground, like a hand beanbag. They have like a cloth with beans in it that you pick up before the other person. Well, guess what? One sec here. What I can recall is basically this happened. I was fast enough to go and reach for the beanbag, but the person who also was going for the beanbag had the same speed and force that I did. We were about the same distance, and my arm went like that. I literally broke my arm playing a parachute beanbag game. And added to the story, because this is from my mom and my grandma. Apparently, my arm was broken in two pieces, and it was flopping around and stuff. But not in the joint area, but like in the center here. And I'm like in my head, Jesus Christ, that is insane. How was I not more freaked out? But since I don't remember that part, it must have been trauma that like somehow got locked in my brain away from my conscious self just so I didn't flip the freak out. But I do remember that when I was that age, a lot of kids that age weren't always believed or cared for in the same way that kids are now. So I was taken to the little clinic room, or like the nurse's station, and they had a little small bed for me to lay on. I was sitting on that bed for maybe half an hour to 45 minutes before someone picked me up. Then we went to the hospital, and during that time, my mom was actually out with my aunt, and they were walking around the lake at the time. They got a call and found out that I was going to the hospital. They didn't know what it was for, because apparently they didn't know too much about the broken arm. But then again, that portion of the story might have been part of the trauma. They could have easily known that my arm was flailing. So that was probably the trauma that was stored in the back that I do not remember. And I'm like, wow, that is crazy. A portion of reality that is split because I was traumatized and didn't hit it from my conscious self. That is insane. Anyways, that was like such an insane amount of pain that like I swear to God that in my head, I said, my arm is broken, my arm is broken, my arm is broken. But in my mind, I thought my arm was still in like a decent piece, like a hairline fracture or something, instead of like being broken in completely two pieces. But anyways, I then got a cast on that arm, and after that, I was freaked out to all high hell about getting it signed by my classmates. Trust me, they all wanted to sign my cast. I was pretty popular apparently back then. Anyways, they all wanted to sign my cast, but I was too freaked out, so I didn't get them to sign my cast. But when I freaked out a little less, the one person that signed my cast was my sister, and she is awesome. And yeah, that is the story of how I broke my arm in elementary school.